Okay, well, there would probably be people still playing music like myself, whether there was money involved or not. Just like any other art form, if there's no money to be made, then it usually ends up going away. The business of music is a fairly substantial business. As we see by the time we're going to cover all these, the manufacturing and merchandising of musical instruments and things that go along with music, like music stands, uh, software, all kinds of stuff like that. Performance of music, well, you gotta hopefully pay your performers. Music publishing, you write a piece of music, you'd like to make some money from it. That's kind of a nice touch. Advertising, well, someone writes the music to put to advertisements. And community music, which kind of like performing, but they're talking about more of a local as opposed to a larger situation, and we'll cover both. Alright, there's people that are needed for the manufacturing and the merchandising of all types of musical things. We talk about band and orchestra. Well, we're talking about not only the performing of a band and orchestra, but the instruments involved. There's more instruments out there than the electric guitar. Someone has to make a bassoon, someone has to make the flutes, the trombones, the trumpets, and the music stands, although I guess I could put that under musical accessories later. All of these things are important. Now, not only do they have to be made, someone has to go around and try and sell them to the orchestras, to the music stores, to high schools, to middle schools, and to, anyone else looking to buy them. And sometimes that person is a good musician, sometimes they're not. Sometimes they've never played an instrument, but they could still be involved in the manufacturing or the merchandising. Okay, so the point of that is you don't necessarily have to be a musician to be involved in the music business. Now, electronic instruments, that's just another thing of manufacturing and merchandising. They're talking more about pianos, modern pianos, as opposed to a traditional stringed piano like you see underneath. We have pianos and organs, but electronic instruments being more keyboards. You go into Walmart, you can't walk around without seeing keyboards. Electric guitars, I guess you could call an electronic instrument. Electric basses. There's electric drums. All these things. And the amplifiers that you use to amplify them. Well, that falls under electronic instruments. Pianos and organs, that's pretty self-explanatory. You have to make them, you got to market them as well, especially organs. He who does not market his product well does not sell to the big churches, and therefore does not make the big money with their organs. Music software, that's very important. So modern music writing is done more on a computer than by hand. If you hand someone a handwritten chart, they usually look at you like you did something evil. It's kind of an expectation to have done your writing on the computer, just like you would use a word processing program. Two of the most common music writing programs are Finale and Sibelius. Also, there's lots of recording software now that's put on a computer, and most music is recorded via a computer hard disk and then via tape or via CD or any other direct way. It's pretty much all going into computer these days. So various recording technologies are part of the music software. Accessories, that falls back into things like music stands, guitar strings, reeds for a woodwind instrument, footstools for a guitar player, picks. I'm trying to think of some other things we could come up with. Well, that should give you an idea. All the little things you see in a music store that you can't really play. That's your musical accessories. And here's kind of an obvious one. Recordings. I think it's pretty obvious that someone has to market artists and manufacture the CDs that get sold, as well as the music books that you use to try to copy those recordings. But that's a huge market too.